Welcome to all our friends as we enter into the perfect subject, the perfect title, the perfect gateway to your highest level of consciousness. The pineal gland, the third eye. Let those sounds resonate with you. The mystical, magical serenade of the shakuhachi, magnetic, illuminating, transformative, and welcome, friends, to the consciousness of the way. Hello to my co-host, Jade, High Priestess, and I am your humble servant and Sifu, Taoist Master San Quinn. And we are entering into the Shen, which is more commonly known within Taoism, the entry point to your divine self, elevating the gateway, which is called the Bahwa, Baihui, which is your highest point of divine divination. And of course, beyond that, the Tao. Yeah, the secret source, baby. Yes, today is a magical day as we've been scampering through, dancing through the dandelions, whispering through the magical trails that were set before us. And Jade and I love to just open those doors for everybody. And so we've talked about a lot of things on this podcast, but one thing that is always going to be a center of attention is the pineal gland, the third eye. Some will say the gateway to all things that are, that is, that can be. Basically, all is one, one is all.
You've said that a few times.
Yeah. I mean, it's really interesting when we start to talk about these things in more depth as we break them down to make them more interesting and understand, well, digestible for most people, is realizing how there are some, we go to the Marvel model, parallel universes, what an incredible mind Stan Lee had, just sparking all the imagination, the creativity for generations to come, and every little boy, little girl that ever set their eyes on a Marvel hero just evoked this imagination. And that's another epic component to you accessing your highest level of consciousness, is realizing that you have to lay out the groundwork of what you want to manifest, what you want to create, what you want to heal. And that comes from the imagination.
Like people always say, oh, I wish my life was like a movie. Why can't it be easy like the movies? And it's like, oh, that it is.
Right. Escapism I believe, is such a fleeting word. It's almost like a diffusion or an attempt to turn you into, what's the current word that's representative of that? A bot, right? To you say you escape from, you remove yourself from your reality. That's the magical power that we have, which is the ability to change our state at will and change the trajectory of where you are right now and what you're doing in your reality and how you want it to form, shift, and shape. We in Taoism have, Wu Wei, which is an effortless, in definition means effortless action, which is what we lean upon, understanding, accepting, and allowing. And of course, from one of our teachers, Highest Purity, he always reminds us, because he's the keeper of the magic, is understanding that, guess what? If you force something, it will hold and then it will break. And that's true and representative of everything that you do in your reality. As simplistic as that is, if you take a moment and reflect on using that template within your own journey, you'll have moments, epiphanies, instantly, right now, of how effective that is in getting you to understand the hurdles that you have created for yourself in your own life.
Yeah, it's like living in the flow, letting everything flow, letting everything be like water, and just accepting it.
And that, again, is another representative when Jade speaks on the flow, and we've talked on the flow within the channel, is understanding that we also have this other gateway that is part of the separation or the dissolving of duality. Mm-hmm. And you find that gateway, that secret source, that magical opening. And I'll define it as a portal, because some people will call human beings portals. We're all part of a collective. We all are accessible to each other's energies, information. Everything has already been created. So understanding that as a basic baseline, you have access to every piece of information for everything since the beginning and end of time in this realm, in this realization. Swallow that one. And I mean, we talk about AI, and we talk about how AI is, I was just noticing the other day, they talked about AI will have consumed every piece of information that has ever been created on the face of this earth by January of 2024. Whoa. If it's looking for a new job, it's already fired, because we already have all of that within us. So, sorry AI, you're out of luck. If you're looking to be part of the raised and rising consciousness today, then you're in the right place. As we know, as we always remind people, there are no coincidences. So AI's going to be out of a job as long as Jade and I do ours, which is really sharing this information with everybody, so you have direct access to your own source at will.
Giving you the tools so that you can unlock it and start to use it.
Mm-hmm. To everything. Mm-hmm. And so, that gateway, which dissolves duality, is what we talk about with yin and yang. It's a secret, but guess what? I'm going to share it with you. And it's not the secret of the secret. This secret was a secret before the secret even existed. So, basically, yin and yang, the breath in and the breath out is representative of yin and yang. We use the breath to move the qi. That is representative of qigong, which means life force, moving of life force. And so the little secret that I'm about to reveal to the world is the separation of the breath. So when you breathe in, hold, and then breathe out. Now do it one more time. Breathe in, hold. That's the separation. That's what we call the Wu Ji, the separation between yin and yang. That's the gateway to stillness, the opening to your divine self. That's your realization that you are one with everything. All is one, one is all. Right here, right now. And if you do that, you spend a second, as you just did, and you're like, hang on a second, this is kind of weird. I don't know what I'm experiencing, but it's something that is shifting me right now. Now, if you take a second, and we're running over all these skills, all these different ancient tools, this is that moment, that Luke Skywalker moment. Use the Force, Luke. That last moment when he's in his X-Wing and he's flying towards the Death Star, and he has one chance, one moment, and he's got to shoot his laser right into the Death Star. It's a fraction of a second. That's your gateway to all that is. That is the stillness. That is the Wu Ji. Because Wu Wei, I find a lot of people reference that. They reflect on it. You know, people that are fond of Taoism, that are familiar with a few concepts that are created within Taoism, and they lean upon it because effortless action sounds pretty sexy. And understanding that we accept and allow everything, that's really a very fast-track way to dissolve the noise of the duality. Yeah, so, you know, the Wu Ji, the separation between yin and yang, is in the breath. Booyah! Yeah, we just got started, guys. That's the first secret, number one. And by the way, by the time we finish this podcast today, I'm going to take you through a very quick activation of your third eye. Oh, did I just say that? Yeah. It's on like Donkey Kong. We are ready to transform you to be the gateway to your highest level of consciousness and be one with everything. The stillness, the Wu Ji. And so, by the end of this podcast, we're going to take you through a third eye activation. Warning, warning, warning. Robinsons, warning. You ever seen that old show from the 60s? Mm-hmm. The Robinsons, the robot, Robbie Robinson. Anyway, we need to be very clear. You're about to open a gateway that is going to take you, it's going to knock you off your socks. So I'm going to offer that caveat right now so that everyone is very clear. It's for you to use if you choose to. I am sharing it with you, and what you do with it is up to you, but it will instantly activate your third eye and give you a shift in consciousness that you have never experienced before. So there's a massive electrical charge that comes with it. So I want you to be very aware and very acceptant of what is going to transpire today. Warning with that, your activation will be instantaneous, and the stages of it will, of course, the big one that we always repeatedly go over and over and over within this channel is you must feel it. And so that will be representative of that. So knowing that we will give you a little bit of insight. So most of these ancient practices refer to the third eye. It's a lot deeper within a Taoist practice. We talk about the gateway to the spirit world, the Shen, and you can call it a third eye if you're Hindu, chakra, there's a lot of different references to Egyptian, Hermetic, Hindu. You could go all over the place. Let's just use this as the entry point. And that's why I use the word pineal gland, so it's a little bit more universal, a little bit more digestible for the average person. But let's just say this. We spoke on this in the last podcast. Mm-hmm. We talked about the 9 dimensions, which is shifting your paradigm and expanding. Expanding is basically expanding your consciousness. And so your ability to see and be at one with everything is the shifting of your consciousness. On the 9th dimension, you're at the highest level of basically, you are the divine, you are the source. All is one, one is all. And that comes with the perception of your reality, the consciousness. But you have to understand that this is relevant to your energetic body activating. Because so now we reference the energy body, and we have all these energy centers that we activate through the 126 experience, the most incredible app that gives you instant access to empowering yourself by learning how to control your emotions. Because that's the baseline for you to start manifesting the healing, to create magic, whatever it is. You must be able to master your emotions, creating the coherence between the upper dantian, the middle dantian, the lower dantian, or more commonly known as the gut, the heart, and the brain. And so heart is magnetic, brain is electric. You combine the two and you have Shazam. That gives you the supercharge to the gut, which is the indicator of your intuition. That's where we get the expression, I got a gut feeling. Right? So we talk about these things. So these energy centers are critical. We have, within Taoism, we have up to 108 energy centers that connect us between the earth and the universe. This is going on all day long. The app that we designed, Jade and I, that go into the ancient practices that we have been practicing for decades, that we use, have been helping hundreds, thousands, and now with this app, millions of people in being able to clear and activate these energy centers because they're a direct correlation with the dimensions. Oh, yeah. What are the chances of that? And as we talked about just yesterday on our last podcast, we talked about how, guess what? Once you hit the 9th dimension, it starts multiplying. And we just keep going through. 9 to 18 to 27 to 36. And so just when you think you haven't had enough abundance, timeless, endless, limitless, infinite amount of juice, you're going to keep getting higher, baby. Higher. And so the entry point being the third eye, pineal gland, we call it the Shen within Taoism, is basically accessing your ability to transmute this energy from within your physical body externally in any place or time, collapse any place and time, and shift it within you, out of you, and affect change instantly within this space, out of this space, all different realms. It's limited by your consciousness. and it's not real until you say it's real. And so people have their own roadmap of how they get there, how they create it. And that's fantastic, because you guys are sitting here listening to us because this resonates with you, just as other things, other methodologies, other systems resonate with other people. It's called There Are No Coincidences. Booyah. So we've got this incredible app, the Way 126 Experience, that activates all first nine of your energy centers. In actuality, we have 9 levels. It will activate all 108 of your energy centers, but there is an intense amount of material. I always recommend that the average person who may not be looking for anything other than being able to get a handle of their life, controlling their emotions, which in turn creates coherence. And with the coherence, you are then able to manifest your reality. And if that's all you want to do, then you've come to the right place. And so being able to create and manifest, shape shift, create your reality, master, keeper, creator of your reality, right here, right now. You must master your emotions. That's the base level. So we talked about the first nine energy centers, from the earth through to your connection with the universe. They're the baseline. They're everything that you need to start with. And then we get to, and always remember, it's misdirection when it comes to any sort of ancient text or practice, especially within Eastern philosophy, ancient Eastern practices in relation to this will be Taoism. That, nothing is ever as it seems. Always remember that, guys. So it's always a misdirection. So you may be falling down the path. I remember this very clearly. There's a person that will remain nameless who released a very ancient Taoist meditation that activates basically the universe within you, called the microcosmic orbit. And he was one of the first guys to bring it to the Western world, put it in text, put it on a piece of paper. And I would not have to, I could be a rich man right now if I had the amount of people that would come to me and go, Sifu, I used this and it didn't work. What's going on? Well, first and foremost, there are about 4 or 5 different components to that released meditation, the microcosmic orbit, that he released to the Western world, that make it useless, right? So you're not getting the prescribed outcome, which is completely activating what we referred to earlier in a past podcast, this mirror magic. The inside is the outside is the inside. Understanding that, that's one of the huge perks of the microcosmic orbit, if you have the real one, which is the whole problem with, Eastern philosophy, Eastern ancient practices, i.e. Taoism, is that there's a lot of misdirection. And so I'm going to share one today that's going to blow your mind, and you're going to be perplexed with it. When it comes to the third eye, you don't just have one. There are actually 9 levels and 9 eyes. Okay, yeah, everyone's going to go, brrr. Let me rewind that, because did he just say what? Brrr. One more time. Brrr. He said what? He said the third eye, there's not just one third eye, there's actually 9 eyes. One more time. Brrr. Yeah. And understanding that the misdirection is the limitation of that, because everyone is gravitating to this. You see it all over the place in texts, in people experiencing their own relationship with the third eye. And, there's way more to it. And once again, I'm going to reference this, that those 9 eyes that you possess are also in reference to the 9 dimensions. Take that and digest it. So yeah, you're going to sit here and you're going to want to smoke a joint, drop some DMT, eat some mushrooms, smoke some whatever it is that you do, that you need external forces to create the internal alchemy, which is the gateway to your reality. You might want to pause this for a second. I think Sifu just told me something. I need to take a toke or something, because I'm mind blown. But what you're going to understand is this is going to resonate with you, because you know it's true. And that's the eye-opener. That's the mind-blower. There are 9 eyes, excuse me? Whoa, yeah. This is the gateway, guys. And then we just go up from there. We go up from there. And so if we were to reference that principle, mentalism, understanding everything outside of the mind is in the mind, in the mind, outside of the mind, outside of the mind, in the mind, everything is the mind. That's the gateway. And to Taoists, it's the Shen. That's the gateway to our upper dantian, to gateway to the Tao, and then being able to access it. All is one, one is all. So the third eye is, we're on the magical mystery ride, and the third eye is just one of 9 eyes that you possess. At some point in the future, we will get to activate those realms, levels, perceptions, consciousness, because people are going to argue that. And, unless you've been there, it's nothing more than a concept. And I agree with you. That's what we reiterate. Jade and I reiterate this every day. The truth is only what you believe. And what's most important is your truth, not my truth, not her truth, not Sally Moore's truth, your truth, your experience. And to solidify that truth, you must have a moment of consciousness, to access that. You must have a feeling. You must feel it.
Yeah, no, you have to feel it. That's a solidifier.
Right. And so the simplicity of that is everything. Everything is a thought, an emotion, and a feeling. And so to water this down, now that your head is spinning 9 eyes, what the heck are you talking about? Everything is misdirection, people. The ancient stuff that Jade and I are rolling out will blow the minds of most people in this space, because they're correlated with things that are more generic in their making. Understand that you're taking information in all day, every day. Mm-hmm. Thousands of points of information. I think we referenced it before. Anywhere between 140 to 200,000 points of information into your unconscious all day, every day. Knowing that, guess what? It's already in there. We even referenced the DNA. A strand of DNA has been measured to have as much capability of storing as much energy as 700 terabytes within one strand of a DNA, which would be equivalent to the size of your fingernail. Booyah. We are batteries, or which charge a mirror that is reflectant of everything that's in us, is out of us, that's in us, that's out of us, that's out of us, that's in us. That's what we all are. So, the third eye is the gateway. This is, seen as the entry point to your highest level of consciousness. Taoists call it the Shen. The Shen is within the upper dantian, within the 81 chambers of the upper dantian. And guess what? Let's even boggle your mind a little more. So let's use that mirror. The gut gets the gut feeling. Boom. The signal goes from the heart to the brain to the gut. Booyah. Digest that one. Yeah. And when you get to really grasp your mind around it, so we're grasping our mind around the whole idea of the gateway, what it takes to enter that, expand that, open it up. And everyone's got 1,000 different ways from Sunday, but I promise you, you're going to walk away from today activating your third eye. And I absolutely 1,000% suggest that you are sitting down when you are doing this, because it will hit you like a runaway comet. So there is a few little pieces that we're going to add to it. Very simple pieces, but it supercharges the axis. And that's the part where we're releasing the secret source to the world. Ancient Taoist practices that open these gateways and give you the ability to connect and create whatever reality you want. And so, when you activate this, your whole new sense of reality, and this can happen instantaneously, as it happened to me many decades ago. I promise you, as you continue to shape and craft and open your consciousness, what I will promise you today, you will feel it immediately. It will have an electric charge immediately, and you will be left with a, he said it was going to have electric charge, and it happened. It's blowing my mind. And that's the starting point. Now, depending upon where you are in your own journey, you may have already activated your third eye, or in the process of, or contemplating it. This is going to supercharge it to a level you've never experienced before. And this is, and I'm not going to, the caveat is not to be it's dangerous, because there is nothing that this is, this is again falling back on the idea or the concept of duality, that there's good and bad. There's nothing bad about this, guys. This is about your access, your ability to refine your skill. But I will tell you, I'd go out after this podcast, go and subscribe to the Way 126 experience, and start crafting your reality at a light speed, because that's what you're going to be able to do with it. So, we talk about the physical body, we talk about the energetic body, we talk about the spiritual body. And everyone goes, well, how am I supposed to get there? There's just so much. And it's not really. I mean, we talked about the 9 dimensions. And today I referenced that and got you to understand that your connections with the universe are representative of the 9 dimensions. And, the 9 dimensions are really just you taking something and looking at it at different angles. That's it. Take a ball and just move it around. That's it. Beginning of the end. All is one, one is all. Talk about mentalism. It's all in the mind. The outside is inside, the inside is outside, the outside is inside. Everything is in the mind, which is the universe. It's two of the same. That's critical to wrap yourself around and realize that. So, I know you're probably 5-10 minutes back going, this dude just said we got 9. We got 9 eyes, bro. I mean, seriously? I will tell you, I find it really profound to watch someone like Jade who shifts into her state so easily. And again, effortless, because how she processes or receives information is very similar to me. It's back to the fundamental principle of Taoism, which is accept and allow. And so that puts you in that brainwave state instantly. The old expression, accept it at face value. Yeah. And then we have another expression that Lao Tzu uses all the time, and he reminds me on a daily basis, which is, if you have to learn it, you do not know it. If you know it, you do not have to learn it. Booyah. Wow. Let that shake your pillars a little bit. Yeah. It's really that simple. And that's that intuition part that everyone goes through. They understand that when I get that gut feeling, I get that resonation, I get that knowing. And so you trigger the heart and the brain. You use the third eye, the Shen, as Taoists would refer to it as, the spirit, the basically highest level of consciousness, because you're taking your acknowledgement of spirit, which in our model reflective of the dimensions, as we talked about the other day, we are now going back to the seventh dimension, beyond awareness, right? And so now you go to the eighth dimension, which is divinity, and then all with everything is the ninth dimension. All is one, one is all. So let's get back to that third eye. I think we're ready. I don't know. I've been throwing stuff at you. I'm pretty sure Jade's going to be like, what are you releasing the secret sauce for? What's going on here? Look, if we don't take our time and share this stuff with us, with you, it's a disservice to the world and their opportunity to change and raise the vibration. We're all vibration, guys. And this is it. This is your chance to affect change any way you want. And ultimately, the higher you raise your vibration, the resonance, we're all in the same place, all of us.
When you activate your third eye or your nine eyes, is that something that once it's activated, it's there? Or do you do it? Is it something you keep activating and activating and activating?
Disclaimer. When I release this stuff in just a moment here, it's for your good and your good only. That it's for you to use, and it only gets stronger. So it's not like, oh, I toggled the switch on and I've just run out of juice and I didn't do it for 6 months, so it gets weaker and weaker. No. Once you turn the lights on, they're on forever. And what you will find through your own perception is how you navigate through this awareness that you can create more or less, and it really is definitive of you, and you saying it is so. So that means that once you activate your third eye, you say, all right, oh my goodness, there's too much on the screen. So imagine your third eye activation as you're looking at your desktop and there's too many little icons. What are they called? Icons or whatever?
Yeah, icons.
There's like 5,000 folders, man. I don't want all the folders. So you're going to compress them all down to 3 folders. And then you get to decide what you want to see. Okay, so I'm looking at this object. I'm looking at this place, person, or thing. What information do I want from that? Do I want to know their state of mind? Do I want to know their state of physical being? Do I want to know the resonance and frequency of the energy coming out of their organs? Do I want to understand more about an object over there that has a resonation that's very similar, a frequency that's very similar to the frequency of their upper dantian, their brain, the correlation to that? You can literally have your it's like an AI. You can put it in through your unconscious or consciously proclaim it, and you will get that information instantaneously. And the more you practice this, the more you refine it, the faster you get there to being your perfect AI model of whatever you want and how you want to receive the world and how you want to get the information. So, do you just want it for a little fun and games, or do you want to become a full-time clairvoyant, medium, psychic, whatever you want to call it. All these skills, this extra perception, is all got to do with how much you refine your consciousness. So what I will say, it doesn't go off. Like, you can command it to go off out of fear, freaking out that you opened your abilities, and people have still got, and this is why we always talk about baseline emotions, because you're going to open this up and go, holy moly, this is crazy, I have these abilities, it's freaking me out. And all this other stuff comes up, and it's too much to handle, so you go, nope. I'm going to set it in stone that I'm going to put it on pause, and I don't want it. And your conscious will command that. Your unconscious is listening. And so it's going to go boom. Because remember, when you're emotional, you're suggestible. So it's always going to be there. It's always going to be activated. And you can either turn the dial up or turn it down. It's for your choice. It's your reality. It's your creativity. It's your journey. And whatever you want to do, it's up to you. But it doesn't become tangible until you feel it. And that's one of the missing components of a third eye activation, is that kinesthetic response is, it's turned up to a level that you've never experienced before, and it amplifies on itself.
Let's do it.
Yeah, so as Jade has just, motioned towards, we will do this. Now, again, caveat, this is for your choice to do it. I'm not responsible. I'm just giving you the information. What you do with it is on you, your body, your response, your responsibility. Drum roll. But be aware, it's toggling it on, it's happening very quickly, and the solidifier is that kinesthetic response, and it will be instantaneous. So if anyone's following along with the podcast, we did a very brief activation meditation 101. That was a very quick get into a instant state of relaxation, activating your alpha and theta brainwaves. And you're turning on the pineal gland, you're turning on the third eye. Things become very clear. Your inner is your outer is your inner. Excuse me, this goes back to what I'm talking about. First person, third person, no person. And so most likely at this activation point, for people that have not been aware, but they're getting glimpses of things, so things are turning on and off. They've had some experience that has given them the third eye movie experience. So when I do past, present, or future life readings, I'll instantly connect with the subject, and I'll get them to close their eyes, either lay down, sit down. They'll drop into a very deep trance. And as I'm getting the information from myself, I'm connected with their aura, connected with their spirit, their energy, and they get to see the life reading, the experience within their third eye, like a movie on a screen with their eyes closed. Booyah. It's pretty crazy. Now, there are variables that take place when you're experiencing this. So the first highlights or indicators when you turn on that spark and you're turning on the third eye, you'll start to get glimpses of different colors and lights that come through as the crystals within your pineal gland are breaking open, and it's like light shining through crystals. Exactly. You get different facets shining in different angles, and those lights are basically sort of like a kaleidoscope. That's why people reference kaleidoscopes when talking about the pineal gland. And if they haven't, well, here we go. I've just referenced it now, so it gives you a better understanding. And then, of course, as you and this may happen instantaneously. It happened for me instantaneously. Your third eye activation turns into clear sense, seeing instantly, and you have full control over your virtual reality experience, and you see it all like that. And so doing this, I would turn down the amplification, which is your own intention, because remember, before you step forth in doing this action, realize that you can set the tone, the experience to your level, however much you want to. So you make a proclamation, you state it immediately before you experience what we're about to take you through, and say, you know what, I want microdosing of this. So you're like, Captain, I can't hear you. What did you say? You know, Scotty from Star Trek anyway. We're losing control of the ship, Captain Kirk. Anyway, you're Captain Kirk, and Scotty's in the back there, and you're telling them, I want it at a certain pace. I want you to microdose. You're the one who is the master, the keeper, the creator of your reality. When you proclaim it, when you speak it, and you feel it, like I'm saying this to you right now, you're getting that charge, you're resonating with this material, you're getting excited. You should be, because you're on the precipice of the magical center point of where you need to go to activate this. And I will tell you, you're getting a little bit of a supercharged class, because I've been doing this 30 years, I'm going to add to the amplitude of your access just slightly, because I've cast a little bit of more energetic architecture, so that your experience will fast track from what happens right now. So just disclaimer. So there are two components to this. We're using your senses, and then we're using what happens with those senses. Very similar to everything we talk about with the 126 experience, right? So it's quite simple. It's a visual, audible experience creating a kinesthetic response. You gonna say?
No, I'm waiting in anticipation.
Okay. So understanding that you are the vehicle, you're opening the gateway. And so we're using the eyes. And what happens is when you flick on the third eye with this practice, you're going to get those transitions. And normally they're between 3 to 9 transitions. Like I said, you can have it happen. I could give you this, and it's on 3 seconds after we finish this process. And then you can sit there and just breathe in and out using the amper of your third eye, and just amplifying the visual and audible and kinesthetic response from that. But let's just start with the basics. So what I'm going to get you to do is take your index finger and just tap your third eye about 9 times, right? And as you can feel this sort of like sensation that's going up and down your spine, through your head. And you know, you'd used to do this when you were a kid. It's like, oh my goodness, it kind of feels weird. And then when I look at someone and I get close, there's this polarity that takes place. It's like a magnetism and also a repelling experience, right? So you kind of, and then take your finger away from your third eye and then just sort of like move it around. And you know, you kind of get that funny, sort of happy, smiley feeling, you know, that, and this is coming from your sacrum, which is your lower dantian, is starting to rev up the engine, right? So it's activating the energy and creating the little ball of rocket fuel that's going to be shot up through your spine into your upper dantian, into your third eye. If you take it away, and now just for fun, do this, and you will feel the energy pulsating from your forehead. How's that feel, Jade?
Yeah, dense.
Well, yeah, really dense. And so now we have this visual, audible, and kinesthetic response. Now we're going to add 2 other components. We went over those 2 components. Whew, that's kind of nice. We went over those other 2 components on our second, third podcast back about Taoist meditation practices. And so basically now you've done this, you can go into a mirror, and I want you to look in a mirror. Or you could be sitting like we are right now, and all you need to do is look up as high as you can. Don't move your head, but look up, and then roll your eyes to the right and drop them down. And with that, your head will drop. And then the final point, because you can now feel the buildup of that energy in your forehead, you're going to take your tongue, and this is the part anticipation-wise, guys. When you stick your tongue in the middle of the roof of your mouth, good luck, and I'm not responsible. And go. Take a breather. And just sit with that. Because as you realize, you've now activated the energetic channel from your sacrum all the way up to your third eye. Your third eye is now activated. That density that you're feeling, that chemical factory sort of giggly high that you get when you either spin around a dozen times and you feel really lightheaded, is the activation, guys. And in lots of cases, it may start off with just a flash of white light, and you are off to the races. And so you can use this as many times as you want. Once you do that, I suggest you breathe in and out. Because remember, wherever the breath goes, the energy flows. All you have to do is keep your eyes closed, whether you see something or nothing. As you breathe in and out through the pineal gland, and it will start to increase the amber of it and the density of that energy. Take a second and do that right now. Close your eyes, stick your tongue, oh yeah, and then breathe in and out through your pineal gland, the shen, the third eye, and it will start to amplify that amber. It's like an amber in a cigarette that just gets brighter and brighter. And just to add to that component, as we are visual creators, you won't even have to imagine it. It will become real in your third eye, in your mind. As you're doing it, you are creating it. Rest your tongue as your breathing starts to get lower. As you can see, well, maybe you can't, but if you look at the camera on Jade, instantly she shifted into that state, and she started to breathe more from her chest, higher breathing through the upper chest, which is an incredible indicator. And there's more flushing of the blood flow around her neck area, which is an indicator of how deep she is in a state of trance. Instantly. And so, as you're listening to me, you can slowly take yourself out of that state at your own pace. Proclaim it to your unconscious as it brings it to the consciousness at the forefront of your awareness, and you will slowly open your eyes. But yeah, the buzz is going to be there. You're going to be as high as an AFer. That's right. Because that's part of the chemical factory that you've created, guys. How do you feel, Jade?
Yeah, I feel amazing.
Right. Your aura is just illuminated. It's like an amber color, and it's like it's burning my eyes to look at you, quite frankly. And it's part of it. It's like, that's that fun factory. If you have kids, you'll see them. Well, What are you standing in the middle of the room and you're running around? Oh, I feel lightheaded. I'm going to just fall over. That chemical reaction that you're getting is that, oxytocin. And, you are creating all these feel-good chemicals, and the heightened level of the DMT that you produce, that you're activating through your pineal gland, will give you the windows to the world, to the universe, as it becomes sharper and sharper through your clear senses. So what is it that we remind you on this channel always is, you must feel it.
Yeah, I think everyone felt it.
Well, yeah, of course they did. It's some ancient, powerful tools that, for the first time, we've ever shared them with anybody. Mm-hmm. And this is just a little taste, a little taster for you to use. And what you will find is how that energy then moves down through your what we call our Taiji pole, the spine, and it starts to sit in your chest. And so now, as you respirate, your chest is now starting to feel what you produced, the nitric oxide, that feel good, that bubbly chemical representative of many things that you may call a dopamine high. You're just feeling giggly, you're feeling bubbly, you're feeling excited, and you're feeling energized. And you're extremely heavy-headed because you have just turned it on, baby.
Yeah. It was like the second you said, put your tongue to the middle of the roof of your mouth, it felt like literally like a fire hose. Like that type of like pressure, just like being released. If you've ever watched like a fire hose, it is like, And your head turns into a bobblehead because the amount of juice that's coming up into your pineal gland is crazy. I would use this progressively. You proclaim the pace that you work at, and your consciousness will work with you on that. And you're the one who is the master, the keeper, the creator. And of course, if you want to fast track this and take this nugget away, go from this podcast, go and download the Way 126, subscribe to the app, and start your journey on transformation, mastering your emotions, and then becoming the biggest, baddest manifesto you've ever seen, because these are the baseline tools that you need. And then you will continue to evolve from, consciousness to consciousness to consciousness to consciousness. Into the next dimension.
Into the next dimension. So, this has been sort of a runaway train for me today. I apologize to my beautiful divine co-host, High Priestess Jade here. I feel like I've had diarrhea of the mouth, and I've been running on here. I'm kind of buzzy high, that high you get. I know everyone's experiencing it right now, but you could attribute it to something like laughing gas. Mm-hmm. And the more you sort of, and just for fun, everyone just sort of inhale and exhale through your mouth like 9 times. Let's go. Now smile. Oh yeah, baby. That's your own magical. That's your magical alchemical factory. And the more you smile, guys, the more bubblier, the more excited, the happier you get, because that's a chemistry you created. Woo! And so, again, I want to apologize to Jade.
No apology necessary.
I feel like we touched on a lot of things today.
Yeah.
And it was really important. That component, the third eye activation, is critical. Third eye Shen. More commonly, there are 9 eyes. Oh, yeah, work on that one, baby. But again, misdirection is part of the Eastern practice.
Mm-hmm.
And there are no exceptions to the rule. The secret sauce is the secret sauce until it's not. And I feel like I'm that guy that goes around and ruins all the magic tricks. You know that one on that goes around with a mask on going, I'm going to show you how this trick was done. Well, you know what? The more people that have access to this, the more they can raise the vibration, the frequency, the energy of this world, and it's going to be a better place. So with that said, I want to thank you for joining us, High Priestess Jade, my beautiful divine co-host, and myself, Taoist Master San Quinn, your humble servant and a Sifu. Any closing words on today's experience, Jade?
Oh, I think just watch this back, share it, enjoy it. It was really magical.
I'm still as high as AF.
Yeah.
It's definitely, that's the beautiful part. This only gets stronger, guys. So you're going to have these activating moments, and if you want it to be faster, you proclaim that to be so. That's what will take place. I suggest microdosing yourself. And again, go ahead, download the app, subscribe to the app, get your journey starting so that you can be the master, the keeper, the creator of your reality. And with that said, we will be back on the podcast tomorrow with another incredible episode. This is the consciousness of the way. I'll see you soon, my friends.